Theodore Roosevelt's 1903 address to Yellowstone National Park, he said, "We are not building this country of ours for a day. It is to last through the ages." These words came from a president who believed that America's natural world was our greatest gift, a gift we must protect for future generations. Before completing this project, I knew Roosevelt mainly as one of the presidents on Mount Rushmore, but as I researched his life and explored his speeches, I realized how deeply his leadership shaped the conservation movement and the national park system, especially Yellowstone. Listening to his remarks and studying his legacy showed me how his personal values and persuasive skills and policy choices combined to change our nation's relationship with nature. Hello, my name is Lucinda Johnson, and today I will be informing you about the life and legacy of Theodore Roosevelt, focusing on three major areas: his background, his rhetorical skills, his lasting impact through conservation, especially in his 1903 Yellowstone address. We'll begin with Roosevelt's background, which is key to understanding why he became such a passionate advocate for protecting America's natural resources. Theodore Roosevelt was born in New York City in 1958 to a wealthy family, but he faced serious health challenges as a kid, including severe asthma, according to the Theodore Roosevelt Center. Rather than letting these limitations hold him back, he embraced outdoor activity. He spent hours exploring the forests and the mountains, which not only strengthened his body, but also shaped his character. According to Chelsea Jean Beck, Roosevelt came to believe that nature was essential to American life and that protecting it was a moral responsibility. Roosevelt's professional path also prepared him to lead with purpose. He served as New York Commissioner and then Governor of New York, and later as Vice President before becoming the 26th President in 1901. Each of these roles, he demonstrated bold leadership and a commitment to public good. As president, he took conservation seriously, protecting over 230 million acres of public land, and established national parks, wildlife refuges, national monuments, according to the New York Public Park Service. For Roosevelt, conservation wasn't just a policy, it was patriotic and a moral duty. Understanding Roosevelt's personal growth and political rise allows us to better appreciate how he used rhetoric to inspire a nation. Roosevelt's speech at Yellowstone in 1903 came at a critical time. The nation was growing rapidly, industries were expanding, and the natural landscapes were under threat. According to the American President Project, Roosevelt spoke to Americans about why these lands needed protection, and he did so using techniques that made his message both memorable and motivating. He used ethos, logos, and pathos, three classic persuasive strategies. Ethos, or the credibility, came naturally because he wasn't just a president, he also was an outdoorsman who understood nature firsthand. Logos, or the logical appeal, appeared in his argument that protecting forests and lands ensured the nation's long-term stability and prosperity. Pathos, or the emotional appeal, shone through in his ability to make Americans feel proud of their country's beauty and responsible for its care. Roosevelt also used several rhetorical devices to strengthen his points. He used repetition, repeating of ideas for emphasis, like when he said, "The preservation of the forest is the preservation of the nation," a line that also uses parallelism to make the message memorable, according to the Theodore Roosevelt Center. He used imagery to paint vivid images of America's natural wonders and to inspire awe. He used inclusive language, constantly saying, "we," "our," "us," to make his audience feel personally involved in protecting the land. Finally, Roosevelt's delivery added power to his words. According to Wyoming history, he was known for his energy, conviction, and physical appearance. Contemporary accounts describing his booming voice and expressive gestures, which made audiences listen, believe, and act. Roosevelt's persuasive skills didn't just motivate Americans in 1903, they laid the foundation for lasting conservation values. Roosevelt's conservation efforts created a legacy that continued to influence America today. According to the Gilder Lehrman Institute of American History, he founded the U.S. Forest Service, established national parks, and protected millions of acres of wilderness. The Yellowstone speech symbolizes the ethical responsibility he believed we all have to safeguard natural resources for our future generations. One enduring symbol of his legacy is the Roosevelt Arch at Yellowstone, inscribed with the words, "For the benefit and enjoyment of the people," according to the National Park Service. This landmark embodies the ideals Roosevelt championed, that the nature belongs to the people and must be preserved. Scholars also note that Roosevelt's work inspired conservation models worldwide. It's important to note, however, that his policies had complex effects. Some conservative efforts displaced indigenous people, in communities, which reminds us that even celebrated leaders and good intentions can have unintended consequences, according to History.com. Acknowledging this complexity allows us to appreciate the full scope of his impact while thinking critically about the responsibilities of leadership. Today, we've explored the life and legacy of Theodore Roosevelt. We've examined his background, showing how his early experiences and health challenges shaped his dedication to nature. We looked at his rhetorical skills, which allowed him to inspire a nation and care for its lands. And we considered his legacy, especially his conservation policies and Yellowstone Address, which continued to define America's relationship with the natural world. Roosevelt's life reminds us that leadership involves responsibility, vision, and the courage to protect what is valuable, not just for today, but for generations to come. His words still resonate. We are building this country not for a day, but to last through the ages. Protecting our natural world is a patriotic and moral duty, and thanks to Roosevelt, we have a model to follow.